Hey folks, Amanda here. Just a quick heads up that from time to time, the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast does include some adult language. So if you've got kids with you, you may just want to hold on to this episode to listen to a little later. Enjoy! Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast. I'm Amanda Solman, and along with Mark Jewell, your host for this show and the creator of the Surviving to Thriving movement. Each week, we'll dive into the mindsets that keep us in survival mode and learn how to get on the path to a truly thriving life. If you're looking for a wake-up call and want some valuable tools to get there, you have come to the right place. After all, survival is dead. It's your time to thrive today. Now, let's head over to the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast. This is your host and founder of the Surviving to Thriving movement, Mark Jewell, here to bring you a badass episode, my friends, where we are going to talk to somebody very special that I'm very, very excited to have on the show today. I think a lot of you that come from the agricultural background, which is certainly a lot of my followers and a lot of my friends that do listen to this podcast, will really appreciate who we are going to be talking with here today. And, more than that, we're going to be digging into a true story of, what it really means to go from surviving to thriving in life and being able to live out your passion and live out your message and share that with people despite life's various circumstances. So I'm so pleased to bring on to the show Miss Amberley Snyder. Thank you for being on the show with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm super jacked to have you on here. We shared a stage sort of at the Purina Dairy Production Consultants conference back in, I think, June of this year, June 2016. And I was the opener and you were the closer, and we just missed each other somewhere in between. But I was looking at the agenda and looking at who the other speakers were, and that's where I discovered you, and I have been super impressed. And so thankful for the opportunity to even just get to know you a little bit deeper throughout this interview here today. So I'm so jacked. So Amberley, give us a little bit of your background, who you are, what you do, and what has brought you to this point.
So I was born in California, and we moved to Utah when I was 7. So that's where I live now. And my family is not an agricultural family per se, the normal farming family or ranching family. My dad was a Major League Baseball player for 8.5 years. And my mom had a horse when she was younger, but she was a cheerleader in high school. So for me, when I had an interest in horses when I was little, my mom realized that and kind of captured upon it and grew with it. So gave me the opportunity to start riding horses at 3 years old. And when we moved to Utah when I was 7 is when I started to compete in rodeo. And from there, that part of my life just took off. I mean, I loved every bit of it. Every part of my life revolved around my horses and around competing and getting better inside the arena. So I did that through, the junior rodeo days, junior high days, into high school. And I won the Little Britches World Finals, the World All-Around title, and when I was 18 years old in 2009. And I was also really involved in FFA. So I was the Utah FFA state president that year as well as my senior year of high school. So that was a pretty great year.
Awesome.
I got in a car accident there. I don't know if you want me to get into my car accident yet, but I can. I guess I got into a car accident that I rolled the truck and was ejected and had a spinal cord injury, which kind of threw a wrench in the plans of life, of course, to start life in a chair.
As one could
and
imagine.
I was able to return to rodeo 18 months later. So then that got me to where I am. I mean, that was 6 years ago.